Well guys, I'm not sure what I got on film, but whatever I did get on film, if it's usable, you just witnessed what I assume is the end of Big Yellow. As you've seen from the thumbnail, and I'll put some more pictures up through this video, I had an accident on the Goldwing. I've struggled, I've tried to make this video 100 times already, and I just have not been able to do it. I took a ride with my son one Saturday afternoon, and I was going to explain to you everything that went on, what led up to all this. Sonny Badger did a video not too long ago where he talked about how he was going to take his motorcycle out for a ride, and all these things kept piling up to where he ended up not taking the motorcycle for a ride, and he took the Jeep and he actually got hit. Those were little signs that he listened to and didn't ride the motorcycle. Well, just say that this particular Saturday I had a whole bunch of signs myself and I ignored them. Aside from all that, it just sounds like excuses. It probably is excuses. But what happened was, as I was riding with my son, who was behind me on his Interceptor, I had a camera on my helmet running, but I ended up making a video that I didn't like. My channel, I can delete them. I talk about what's on my mind, and since my accident, that's all that's been on my mind, and I have not been able to talk about it. So I have not recorded any videos in quite some time. I did manage to record a video series, I recorded a video of several days when I had Pete's Moto Adventures 2018 Goldwing at my house, and I was able to take it for a couple of short rides. Great bike, by the way. Other than that, any recording I tried to do just failed. Now, one, right after the accident, I did go to New Hampshire and visit my mom up at my sister's house for her birthday, so I was gone for a while then. But the motivation to record has been super low because I've been depressed. I've been seriously depressed. I crashed my Goldwing, and it was 100% my fault, 100% me not paying attention. Now, what I do want to say, and you'll see in the video clip here, I was not hammering it. I was not whipping around the corners, scraping pegs when this happened. I didn't come into a corner too hot and slide off into the other lane. I was actually taking it pretty easy that day, and again, going back to the signs, it was a long day, etc., but I was taking it easy. It was late in the afternoon. Mitchell and I were just cruising and talking, and my idiotic self, I had the GoPro that you're watching now, and I had one on the back of the bike, which is what you'll see in the video clips I do throw up here. That camera was facing Mitchell. It was on the back of the bike. My just pure stupidity, and I know better. Oh my gosh, do I know better. Turtle, hope you make it, turtle. Watch out, turtle, turtle, don't hit the turtle. Sorry, squirrel or turtle. Anyway, I had the two cameras on, and I thought to myself, I'm going to use voice control to shut them off. GoPro stop recording. Of course, the one on my helmet, it can hear me, and it shut off almost immediately. Well, I'm sorry, it shut off immediately, which in one sense was a shame because it shut off just as the accident happened. The one on the back, of course, it can't hear me. So I can't just say, the words. I don't want to say it right now because this camera will shut off. But the one behind me, and this is so hard to say. I took my left hand off the handlebar, just like I'm doing right now because I'm talking. and I turned completely sideways and looked that way to my left. Not only did I turn completely sideways and look that way to my left, I actually turned even further around. I twisted my body around so that I could actually, out of the corner of my eye, see that camera that was on the back of the bike. So I spun like that, but I did it a lot slower. When I did, I turned and I tried to yell to the camera, you know, those words to make it stop recording. And I took my left hand off the handlebar, I twisted my body completely around, and when I did that, it brought my right hand closer to my body. Now, pure stupidity. I know better than that. I reach back and shut it off with my left arm every other time. I always do. But for some reason I thought, oh, let's see if this works. Because I was way too overconfident. I was too relaxed. I was not focused on riding a motorcycle. I let my focus drift to where I was thinking about the cameras. Well, when that happened, I pulled that right handlebar toward me just a tiny bit. Of course, I didn't know it. I wasn't looking ahead. God, what a view, huh? So, when I came back around to the front, I was on the other side of that white line. Now, it was a straight road at that point. It was flat. It's maybe a slight uphill, but it was a wide open road. There was a pretty wide spot to run off. Again, I'll show you some pictures and stuff if I can find any. So the bike drifted off the road and into the wet grass, and there was a little bit of a drop off there, not much. And when I came back around, I don't know, I panicked, something. Maybe it just held steady. Maybe I was in shock. I don't know. But anyway, Mitchell said the bike looked like it flopped around a couple of times. The video really doesn't show that as much as the best I can figure. Both tires went off the road, but the rear tire, because I was giving it throttle, it took off and went a little bit wider than the front tire, and I went sideways. You can see in the video the embankment right there spins through the video. So basically it seems to me that the rear end came around to the front, and I don't want to say I did a 180 and was looking completely the other direction, but I was at least 90 degrees. My front tire, I must have been pointed straight at that left bank, or even a little more. The best I can figure, based on the damage, the video, the way I landed, that the rear tire came around, the bike had leaned way over to the left, almost like I was about to low side and slide along the pavement. But when the rear tire caught the pavement, it high-sided and it body slammed that motorcycle into the ground. It didn't launch it. Based on the video, it looks like it just slammed it straight down. Well, the force of that going from a low side to a high side was so strong that I launched off the motorcycle backwards. You can actually see me in the video land on the back of my head right behind the bike. Again, at this point I'm showing you clips, videos, pictures, the whole bit. The bike body slammed, I landed on my head, and then kind of came to a sitting position. Fortunately, I didn't slide, or unfortunately, I don't know. I did not have my Bond body armor on. I actually had it with me, but another one of those poor decisions that day. I decided, we're going to be taking it easy. It's going to be an easy day. it's hot, I'm just gonna not put the bomb body armor on. As it turned out, I don't think that it would have done a whole lot, because I had a scrape on my elbow and I had a small scrape on the back of my shoulder. I mean, nothing, literally. I mean, it was nothing. Nothing worse than if I bumped into, you know, a piece of concrete walking down the road. I know this video going on and on, but you know, it's a big deal for me. It's hard for me to do this, and I'm trying to get through it. The bike body slammed, I landed, I was hurt, only in the sense of I ended up later on, as time went on, I had some pretty serious bruising, but no broken bones, no concussion, no headache, just the deep bruising and those couple little scrapes that I mentioned. The bruising took a long time to go away, and there were some issues with that made life rather uncomfortable, because most of that bruising was on my buttocks. The bike, on the other hand, took a hard hit. The highway pegs bent up and poked a hole in my valve cover. Oil everywhere. So of course, can't do anything with that. It's nothing I can do. That's toast. Well, buddies came and helped me late at night, getting close to midnight and all that. They came with a trailer. The four of us managed to get the motorcycle up onto a trailer. I got to thank Ronnie, Ed, Roger, of course Mitchell. All of these people I really wanted to thank. And as it turned out, they all did a great job. After some time at home, I thought, you know what? I can see all these damaged pieces and parts on my motorcycle. I can see what I can replace. So I started thinking, I'm not going to get the insurance company involved. I'm going to do this myself. I can replace crash bars, because both of them on the right side were bent all the heck. I can replace the mirrors, because the one on the right was torn off completely. I can replace the foot pegs. I've done it before. As far as the broken saddlebag, I thought, well, I can live with that for now. Well, I started doing this. I started taking things apart, started working on the bike, and every time I took something apart, I found something else that was broken and or needed replaced. I ended up spending a decent amount of money on these different parts, and I finally came to, basically it's like a subframe. I forget what it's actually called, but there is a piece that goes between the main frame, right underneath the engine, over to the very front, in and around the cowling, which is a big old bracket that the front crash bar attaches to, along with a couple other pieces. So when I took off the front crash bar down low on the right side, that piece was in 3 pieces. That's when I said, you know what? I've done a lot more damage to this bike than I know. I'm not going to trust ever riding it if I don't get a professional look at it. Well, to get a professional to look at it, it's going to be super expensive. So I called the insurance company, knowing that there's a very high risk that they're going to total the motorcycle. They are coming in 2 days. I will do another update video on what goes on there. I believe they're going to total the bike out, and if they do, then I'm going to be in the market for another bike, obviously. Now, all of that being said is to let you know there's not going to be any Goldwing videos after Pete's bike when I did the ride on his bike. There's going to be a gap. And hopefully that gap will be filled by some Motoramblings on this bike. Hopefully. So, long way of telling y'all that I screwed up royally. I had a pretty major accident, destroyed my bike. Luckily I wasn't hurt. I will never not wear a helmet, and I plan to always wear at a minimum this bomb body armor. And to let you know that there won't be any Goldwing videos for a while. Yeah. So 20 minutes of me trying to explain to you what a dumbass I was and why these videos are going to be so weird from what I normally do. So anyway, thank you all for bearing with me for this long video. And please pay attention. Don't get distracted. Distraction sucks, because it can, doesn't always, but it can, and when it does, it will bite you, and bite you hard. Alright folks, thanks so much for bearing with me through all that. I hope everyone can stay well, stay safe, most of all, stay happy, y'all. Motoramblings out. Let's follow a whole bunch of Porsches that unfortunately are following a dump truck. See ya. Stupid camera. Unbelievable. Oh, damn. Bike's destroyed.